something.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I would think God would want you to only have sex when there's love or unconditional love present.
And what would be a great determiner for that?
I don't think you need marriage to have or express love for another person.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that's true, but what would be a good conditional so that you knew that you were committed to somebody and you had made some kind of, I don't know how to phrase this, a vow maybe of some kind, like almost a commitment and a vow and a promise to stay with a person for the rest of your life. Like, what could be a more powerful affirmation of that love than that, I wonder?
You could also just vow a commitment to love and be.
Yeah, it sounds like marriage. It sounds like you're just saying like marriage, but not calling it marriage. So if you say, well, I vow to stay with you for the rest of my life and love only you unconditionally, sounds like you're just talking about marriage.
No, that's what me and my partner did. We're not getting married.
So then you don't consider yourself married?
I don't consider us married?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay, so what are you?
I mean, we're just together and we've made a promise to each other to stay with each other for the rest of our lives, and we don't need a marriage to make that happen.
Well, I don't know what it just sounds like it's marriage. It sounds like you're just not calling it the thing which it is. What do you think marriage is? What is marriage?
Apparently I don't know, because I thought it was illegal.
Well, tell me what it is.
Lol
What is
Paladins
marriage?
donated $69. My last relationship was a 15-year age gap. On behalf of all 40-year-old men, I disavow these women. Maybe the 50-year-old men will claim them.
Bye.
See, just real quick, let me get back to this real fast. What would you say marriage is?
My impression was that marriage is like something legalized.
No, it doesn't need to be legal at all.
Or, I don't know, what, how would you define marriage? Is it not
Well,
involved with the church?
I would define it as like some kind of vow that you would make to a partner to stay with them for the rest of your life exclusively and allow nobody else to enter the relationship ever through sickness and in health and until death do you part, and you know all of that. Did you make some type of vow that was similar to this?
No.
No. So what was your vow?
I mean, I guess we just decided we wanted to spend the rest of our life together.
And nobody else, right?
And nobody else.
And you're going to take care of each other through sickness and in health?
Yes.
Until death do you part?
And beyond, hopefully.
Yeah, through richer and poorer?
Yes.
Oh, that sounds an awful lot like this other institution. I'm just saying, it sounds very similar to this other institution.
Isn't marriage recognized through the church, though?
Yeah, some marriages can be recognized through the church, which aren't done through the church, yeah.
Okay. I guess I just don't see why it's considered a marriage if you make this decision to be committed to somebody.
I mean, what do you think the point of marriage is?
I thought it was to be recognized under God that you are.
Yeah, so that's within my worldview, I would agree with that. So I think that Christian marriage is valid and that other types generally are not. Those maybe some under some circumstances can be recognized. But there's no possible way that you think that marriage in a secular sense has anything to do at all with God. Like if two secular people get married, there's no God thing involved, right?
Yeah.
What is that? Isn't that the same exact shit that you're talking about right this second?
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, it sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like marriage? Just saying.
It sounds like an arbitrary label.
An arbitrary label.
Yeah, it's just making a word to define committing yourself to somebody for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but I mean, we have words which are
call it
descriptors of things which map onto the reality of what a situation is. So if you could think of a word, one word that can come to mind that could relate to me instantly, that you made a vow to a person for life, through sickness and in health, until death did you part, when you would never allow anybody else to enter into whatever this sanctimonious thing is that you made the vow, what would you say that word would be? If you could just use one.
I suppose I would say marriage because that's what I've been taught. Okay, but
Right. So it's almost like that word is super useful to describe this concept, right?
let's consider that humans have existed for hundreds and thousands of years, and let's assume that there have been plenty of people human beings, men and women, that have gone together, loved each other, and just devoted themselves to each other and raising a child for, the entirety of their lives. Are those people still married?
Yeah, I don't, well, so if you were to describe it this way, then yeah, I would say that they were married. What else would they be?
Just are like animals married too? When they like
No, I
bond
don't
with
think that
one
they have the
person and
capacity to
commit
make
themselves?
vows. Do you think that animals have the capacity to make vows?
Wolves do.
Dude, no,
I
wolves
saw a
don't.
dolphin do
Wolves
that
don't
shit
go
once.
over and go, hey, you know what? I vow to be only with you, Mrs. Wolf, for the rest of our lives until death do us part through richer and through. No, they don't do that.
And I think penguins too.
No, penguins don't make vows either. I just want to let you know that no animal anywhere on planet Earth has the capacity, other than human beings, to make vows of any kind.
But do we just assume?
Not one. There's not a single one which exists.
Do we assume that like pre-civilization people actually made vows to each other when they decided to have kids together, or were they just?
That's what you just said. I'm just going by your criteria. You said, what if 100,000 years ago there's two human beings who made this type of commitment with each other? What else would that be?
It doesn't mean that they got together and agreed upon these terms. It could just be that.
Well,
that's the way that
then
the
we're
relationship
outside of
played
your own
out.
hypothetical. So then you're talking about something different. So what did they do?
They just were attracted to
They-
each
they-
other.
Split.
So they just were? Well, then no, I wouldn't consider that marriage.
But
No.
if it meets all the same criteria of they're not dating outside of.
It
they're-
can't meet the same criteria. There's no promissory, right? That's the distinction. You're like making this weird distinction where you go, what if 100,000 years ago there was two people who promised themselves to each other who never promised themselves to each other? It's like it's self-defeating. It makes no sense.
I guess I'm saying that it doesn't have to be a spoken agreement.
It's an unspoken agreement?
Sure.
Okay, well, how would that work?
Can you guys, maybe just
Should we
final
just move on?
final points, just saying?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how that would work, how the unspoken agreement would, like, if the partner was then plowing some other chick down the road, and she was like, what the, and he just shrugs, and, it's unspoken, there's no real commitment here, we didn't really, unless we're assuming 100,000 years ago human beings couldn't talk.
I kind of feel like this is a little moving away from the original point, which was that we can just move on. Sorry.
Can we play the next
No, I
clip?
think that I'm just saying the original point, and I'll just wrap it right here real quick and give you the last word. I think the original point was, what do you consider marriage to be? I would say in the secular sense that if you had a word which would encompass exactly what it is that you're talking about right this second, this type of commitment you made with this other person, that would be considered marriage. I don't really see, I don't know what else secular marriage would be than that.
Sure.
It's beautiful.